Back, and today we are going to be making homemade dog food. I do feed my dogs dry dog food, but occasionally I make them homemade dog food as a supplement so they get different nutrients and more protein than just in dry dog food. So the first thing we need to do when we're making dog food is to clean the sink. I won't make you watch me clean the sink. We will be back after I clean the sink and I'll tell you the next step. All right, we're back. The sink is clean and disinfected, and the reason we needed to do that is because we have a whole turkey that we're going to be putting into a pot to cook for the dogs. And the reason I use a whole turkey is because I have 3 dogs. 2 of them are Great Pyrenees, so they're very large. So the food, if I don't make a lot of food, it gets used up very quickly. So I use a whole turkey, and when it was Thanksgiving, turkeys were very cheap. So if you're ever in the market for a cheap turkey, wait until just before Thanksgiving and you'll get the cheapest turkeys. I think these were like 70 something cents a pound, and just get a whole bunch and put them in the freezer. This turkey's been thawing for 3 days. So it should be all set. I'm just going to cut him open. Some of you might be saying to your television screen, why is she wearing gloves? Well, because I don't like to touch raw meat. It's not because I'm afraid the dogs are going to get germs. The dogs are riddled with germs. Anyone that tells you that dog mouths are cleaner than human mouths is lying to you, because they're not. And I did an experiment to prove as such when I was teaching. I did a petri dish with dog spit and a petri dish with my spit, and the dog one was way, way dirtier than my mouth was. It was disgusting. Okay, so I've got my turkey flipped over on his back. I've taken this plastic thingy out that holds everything together, some excess fat. Your dogs don't need excess fat. I'm also going to take out the little timer thingy that they put in there, and I'm going to pull out the gut package and the neck, which we're going to throw away. The gut package, you're going to open up, if I can get it open. And in there is the gizzard, the heart, and the liver. I'm going to throw away the gizzard because it's really tough. Like, you got to chop this sucker up if you're going to use it. So I just throw it away. But I'm going to save the heart and the liver and put that over to the side in my sink for when I'm ready to put chicken livers in, which is another ingredient, because the organ meats are good for him. Then I'm going to flip my turkey over on his breast. And there's always like at the head end, there's like a huge flap of skin. And I'm going to cut some of that away, just because I don't want them to have all that fat. If you know anything about Great Pyrenees, they tend to gain weight very quickly, and they are not an active dog. And if they become overweight, they can have real problems with their joints. So we try to keep their weight down. I'm going to cut the tips of the wings off carefully and throw them away. We don't need them. There's no meat on them. I will try to take some of the meat off of the wing, the rest of the wing, but there's not much. So sometimes I just throw all of it away, but. So you cut it a little and break it. If you're squeamish, you can fast forward and throw that away. Then the next thing I'm going to try to do is cut the backbone out of this turkey, because what I'm going to do is boil this turkey whole. And in doing that, sometimes you get the bones just kind of fall apart. And what we do not want is bones in our dog food. Dogs are not supposed to have bones. They can if they swallow them, they can puncture their stomachs or their intestines, and it can be very deadly. So we're going to try to get this out of here. There's no meat on the backbone really anyway, so it's not going to hurt anything to get it out of there. This takes a while. Let's go back here. There's the turkey's tail. We're definitely not keeping that. Don't need it. It's not meaty, it's just fat. And we're gonna score, because I gotta see what I'm doing. I accidentally almost cut, there we go. All right, so this whole spine can just get tossed out. You're not gonna use it. Then what you're gonna do is just go through, and if you've got any loose bones, nip them off. The ribs are connected to the rib cage, so it's okay. But if you, like, I have a few little hanging bones here that kind of came loose, get rid of those, because you certainly don't want those little guys to end up in your dog food and choke your dog. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm feeling. I'm looking for rib bones that have broken and need to be removed very nicely. So then what I'm going to do is get my turkey and put him in its pot. This is the pot I use. This is strictly the dog food pot. It's big enough to hold an entire turkey, even with the backbone, and I don't use it for any human food. So there's our turkey inside, and I've got some water in with him. I don't want a lot of water right now, because you can always add water, but you can't take it away. So I'm going to put this on the stove, covered with a lid, on medium. And I'm going to boil it for a while, and then I will come back and we'll do the rest of the steps. Okay, everyone, I've got my turkey in the pot still. It's starting to boil, but I wanted to get started on other things, so I've got a couple things ready. So in my sink, I have got 4 containers of chicken livers, and they're frozen, but that doesn't matter. They're going to go into the hot water anyways and boil, so it doesn't matter. I've got a bag of sweet green peas, a bag of chopped up broccoli, and a bag of spent grain, which is supposed to be for bread, but I'm going to put it in the dog food because it's good for them. The spent grain is from my husband, who makes his own beer. When the grains are done boiling, he takes them out, strains them out, and then I freeze them for bread and things like that. Then I have a gigantic bag of carrots. And I know what you're going to say. Why are you chopping up carrots? You can just buy them in the frozen section, already chopped up. True. That's very, very true. However, it's cheaper to do it this way if you're trying to save money. It is less expensive to just cut up your own carrots out of a bag than it is to buy frozen carrots. Because I don't know if you've been in the frozen food section lately, but it's abysmal. You can't really find, you can't find peas and carrots for one thing in a bag already cut up. Peas you can find in bigger bags, but carrots, it's really hard to find them. So this time around, I just decided to save myself some money, and I'm gonna just chop the carrots up. It doesn't have to be neat and tidy. It just needs to be small enough so when you're kind of stirring and mashing everything up, the carrots break up a little bit. They can be in chunks. The dogs love them. So the first thing I'm going to do is peel the carrots, and I'll just do one and then I'll pause the video for when we come back because you don't want to watch me peel, 6 carrots and chop up 6 carrots. The peel can be bitter. It's probably good for them, but it can taste bitter. So I'm just gonna take it off because if it tastes too bitter, they're not gonna want to eat their food. So then I'm gonna cut off the 2 ends. I'm gonna chunk it up. And then the littlest end, I can probably just cut into wheels. They're small enough. And throw them in my bowl that I have ready. The other sections I'm going to quarter and then chop up. And it's easier to do this if you section it because then you don't get the bends and twists that a carrot has in your way. And just chop it up into little pieces. If you have a small dog, my dogs are giant. I will show them to you after this carrot. My dogs are giant, except for Colden. He's medium. But if you have a tiny, tiny dog, please cut your stuff up smaller for them. They have tiny little mouths. And maybe they don't want to chomp down on a gigantic carrot. So cut it a little bit smaller. Mine only care about the turkey in the food. They really could care less if there's vegetables. They just care about that they're getting turkey. So, all right. So there's 1 carrot in the bowl, ready to go. Now, I will show you the dogs. There's Colden. There's Colden. He's cute. He's chewing his bone. Doing something fun. Huh, buddy? He just came in from outside. He's just going to chew for a while and then he's going to take a nap. Colden is a Lab Pitty mix. He was advertised. We got him as a very tiny puppy, 8 weeks old. He was advertised as a Lab German Shepherd, and you can all just giggle at that in your homes because absolutely not true. He has no German Shepherd looking features at all. He's definitely a Lab Pit, and he's wiry and nervous, which makes me think he's got a little schnauzer or something in him. So I don't know, not sure. And then we'll go see the other 2. Here's Oscar on the deck. He wants to come in. This is Oscar. Poor old man. Come on in, buddy. Oscar has got terrible arthritis, and it affects how he walks. It's not supper. It's not time to eat, buddy. I'm sorry. It affects how he walks. He's going to be 9 in March. So for a giant breed dog like this, that's very old. As far as health problems, it's really just the arthritis in his knees is the whole problem. He's got some pretty bad allergies, but it's really his knees. Like all his organs and everything, fine. His organs are fine. It's just that physical knees, back thing And there's Curly. Hi, buddy. We're showing the people the dogs. We're showing the people. Look at you. You're all covered in just muck and you were rolling in the dirt, huh? Rolling in the dirt. Silly thing. How you doing? Curly just turned 5. He is our destructive one. He likes to be destructive, and when he's angry about things, meaning when we leave the house, he likes to tear things up when we leave the house because he doesn't want us to leave. Oh, buddy. He's our guard dog currently. Oscar's retired because of his troubles. Yes. Yuck, you have gunk in your lips. Oscar's retired because of his physical troubles, so Curly is now the guard dog, and he does a very good job. It's very annoying because he barks all the time. Like if I'm home all day, he stays awake and he barks 90% of the time at nothing, at whatever he thinks he hears. I don't know. I don't know what he's barking at. But that's Curly. Do I smell like turkey? Did I get something on me? Oh. Or are we just kissing? Oh, you go boy, huh? He's a little sweetheart, though. He's a little sweetheart, though. Yuck. Little sweetheart. All right. I will come back to you when it's time to do something else with the turkey. All right, we're back. Our turkey is done cooking for the most part. It doesn't have to be all cooked all the way through, like the thighs and the legs might be a little bit pink, but that's fine because it's going to cook more when we get the meat put back in the pot. So now we have a pot that has a beautiful broth in it. Just gorgeous. Look at that. It's beautiful. The next thing we're going to do while we wait for this turkey to cool, we're going to throw everything else into this pot. So these carrots that we made, chopped up, I'm going to throw those in the pot. I'm going to throw our peas in the pot. Big 24-ounce bag of peas. It's okay if they're frozen because we're, like I said, we're going to cook it some more. Same thing with the broccoli. It's okay if it's frozen. We're going to cook it down some more anyway. Curly likes Brussels sprouts better, but I decided to go with broccoli because I had it already in the fridge. Or freezer, I'm sorry. I'm going to throw in the grains. And then we're going to pour in the parts from our turkey bag. We've got a little garbage bag going on over here. And then we're going to put in our livers, which are always super messy, so you're just going to have to wash your hands after. Okay, all the liver is in there in the pot, and I'm going to just see if we can do anything with this. It should be pretty easy to just break off the bone, and then you're going to get just pieces like that. And since it's boiled, you can just split them into chunks. The dogs don't mind, but I don't like to give them huge chunks. They love just getting it. They don't care if it's huge chunks. I do throw skin away because I don't want them to have all the extra fat. So I do throw that away. And of course, we're throwing bones away. And I'll just break the meat up and throw it in a pot. And I will do the rest of that and see you then. I'm just about done taking the meat off of these bones, but I just wanted to get back on to just talk to you about this disclaimer that when you're taking the meat off the bones of a bird, your own hands are way better than a knife or scissors or anything like that for feeling them. So do this part with your hands. It is the best way to do it. So you're not going to put something in your food that's going to hurt your dog. Okay, we've got all that done. Now I've got this bowl and it's full of the liquid from because I had transferred the meat into the bowl to cool so I could put it in the pot. But we can't just put this liquid in as it is because I don't know if there's any bones in there. So we're going to use the strainer and get it all strained out first and search it. Just like you saw me searching and mushing the meat as I was taking it off, I'm going to do that just to feel if there's any bones, and there weren't, so it can go in. Then I'm gonna shut the garbage can because Curly seems to think it's his own buffet. This is my spoon of choice. It is a really big wooden spoon that Curly got off the shelf and bit some of it off, but since I only use this for dog food, I don't mind. So we're going to stir it all up. Because we put frozen grains and we put frozen livers in there, this is now freezing cold and needs to go back onto the heat. I'm going to let it sit and cook for maybe an hour, half an hour, something like that. And then we will come back to it and I'll show you the last portion of making the dog food. See you then. I'm going to show you the pot of dog food. It's bubbling away. It's been about an hour and a half. And the only reason it took that long is because I didn't have the temperature up really high. So the last thing we're going to add are oats, old-fashioned oats. You can either add rice or oats or both. That's the only kind of like grain type thing I recommend. I don't measure it. I just kind of pour it in there and stir it up. I don't think that was going to be enough to thicken it, so we're going to do some more. We're really just trying to thicken it so it's not a soup. But everything is cooked through. There's nothing that's raw anymore. Since it's been boiling for so long, there's no germs, there's no crazy things in it. The carrots are all tender, all the vegetables are tender. So now we've got the oats stirred in. We put the lid back on and let it thicken up. Then the very last thing that you would do is just let it cool and put it in containers. So I don't need to show you that because that's pretty self-explanatory. And that's how I make dog food. And it will make them 2 to 3 weeks worth, half dry, half wet in their bowls. It'll last about 2.5 to 3 weeks. So it's a good amount. It's a good amount. If you have a little dog and you make a whole bunch, you can freeze it and thaw it out as needed. Or I just keep mine in the fridge because it gets used up so fast. So good luck with your dog food making. That's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. And I will see you next time. Bye.